strike on Belgorod that killed more than a dozen will not go unpunished, Russia says.
Here's a summary of the article.
More than a dozen people were killed by Ukrainian strikes on the Russian provincial capital of Belgorod, Russia's emergencies ministry said Saturday, with the Russian Defense Ministry vowing the strike will not go unpunished. Russia accused Ukraine of having targeted civilians in the city of Belgorod with missiles and rockets, killing at least 18 people and wounding dozens more. The attack came a day after Ukraine said a barrage of Russian missile strikes on several cities killed at least 39 people, wounding dozens more. Belgorod lies about 30 kilometers from the border with Ukraine and has been repeatedly struck by what Moscow says is indiscriminate shelling by Kyiv's forces. The Kremlin said Putin had been briefed on the incident, while the Russian Defense Ministry warned the strike would not go unpunished. In Ukraine, rescuers continued to search through rubble Saturday, a day after Russian strikes killed at least 39 people, one of the fiercest attacks since the early days of the conflict. 3 more people were killed by Russian strikes across Ukraine on Saturday, local officials said.
This post received a score of 5,600, with an upvote ratio of 92%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
What they gonna do? Start a war against Ukraine?
The Nazis entered this war under the rather childish delusion that they were going to bomb everyone else, and nobody was going to bomb them. They sowed the wind, and now they are going to reap the whirlwind. Sir Arthur Harris, aka Bomber Harris, the Russians also started the war under the childish illusion that what goes around won't come around. You reap what you sow, Russia, you reap what you sow.
Russia has sown so much despair, death and shit around the world in the last decades. I hope it reaps all of that in a concentrated form.
If you look at Russian history since 1917 and what it gave to the world, you will find only oppression, despair and misery. I'm from a former East Bloc country and the effect of their FCKED up worldview is visible to this day in every aspect of life from architecture to the way people think. Honestly, at this point, Russia should just FCK off to some other planet and leave the rest of the world be, as it obviously exports only its worst traits and behaviors.
It's not great if you look back at Russian history before 1917 either.
Catherine was not that great to her people. It is the Russian people who usually get the worst of it. Usually anyone called the Great, or some shit like that was a total asshole.
Alexander the Rabbit.
I hear he's pretty great at blocking people's sun though.
Russia thinks they are the only one that can throw the punches and no one else is allowed to punch back. That's just because everyone is scared of the nukes. If it wasn't for that, Russia would have been dealt with long ago. But the equation insane paranoid dictator plus nukes is always a 50-50, not really worth taking.
Ukraine is calling the bluff. Russia can't use nukes in Ukraine period. Might as well go apeshit when they're slaughtering their civilians.
Greater than calling the bluff. Fighting for their lives. They don't have a choice, so they don't really care.
Western aid was provided at the condition it wasn't used against Russian territory. I bet it is a major reason why Belgorod didn't eat shit sooner.
Western aid is drying up. Time to start hitting at Russia and bringing the war home to them. What's the West going to do? Stop sending Ukraine the aid that they already stopped.
I'd like to see the West double the aid and remove the condition about not attacking Russia. Republicans can fuck off.
No kidding. The "we don't negotiate with terrorists" party sure sucks Putin's dick.
So, yesterday they killed 39 Ukrainians and wounded 159, launching a 158 missile barrage all over Ukraine, and today they say they will retaliate for an attack which was caused by debris from their own anti-missile system. Putin's Russia everyone, a gaslighting abuser who plays the victim and threatens anyone pointing out their bullshit.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.